Good question. Uh, you know, about 15 years ago, I moved away from my beloved hometown, Hilo, because it was just, Hilo was dying. I mean, for those of you remember in the mid-90s, not too much work. So I said, you know what, I'm going to Oahu, where there's more people, 800,000 people. The more the people, the more hopefully the work. So, long story short, I said, you know what, if I'm going to live on Oahu, I sure as hell ain't going to live in Honolulu side, because I couldn't stand Honolulu side. So I decided Kaneohe. Plus I had some friends up the windward side. And about 6 years ago, the state legislature passed the smoking ban. And I was so infuriated with that governmental intrusion that I decided to hook up with a few other people. Long story short, we ended up forming the Hawaii Bar Owners Association. Owners of bars all across the state. And I became one of the chief lobbyists. And I began to do hundreds and hundreds of hours of work at the state building, working with lawmakers, getting to know lawmakers on both sides of the camp. And within a year or two, I remember Senator Sam Sloan saying, wow, this is the most, what was it? I have never seen a more compelling lobbying campaign than you guys in all his years in politics. So we started making a name for ourselves, and that all of a sudden I would be on TV a lot with my cigar, and that's kind of how the cigar thing started, because I would do all my lobbying work in the Capitol, knowing full well you can't light it, but Kawika Crowley always had a cigar, okay? So, but what happened was, yeah, we ended up accomplishing incredible things. I mean, right now there's dozens and dozens of bars across the state that allow smoking. So we've been able to fight back that governmental intrusion because of the way we conducted ourselves. But in that process, I began to see a lot of smelly crap going on behind closed doors. Just unbelievable. It stunk. The political process stunk. And it still stinks. I call it dysfunctional. So about 6 months ago, I started thinking about maybe running for office. Maybe the House of Representatives here locally. And then I started thinking, I remember one old Filipino man came up to me one time while I was doing my 9/11 rallies that, pretty much a lot of people in the state recognize me for. On the 11th of every month, I stand on the side of the highway, Kaneohe side, and I got these big signs, 9/11, never forget, flags all over the highway. And so this guy, Filipino man, come up to me. This was 2008, I think it was, or 2008. He said, brother, you should run for governor. You have more guys honking at you than the governor. And then I kind of started to think about it. Long story short, boom, about 4 or 5 months ago, I said, I'm going to do this. And I'm not going to start at the bottom. I'm going to start from the top. So that's when I pulled the papers to run for Congress. And you got to understand, I'm a direct descendant of the Mayflower. John and Priscilla Alden, who arrived on the Mayflower by blood. I'm also, through that blood, related to our second president of the United States, John Adams. So I got deep vested interest in the way, the direction our country is headed. And that really also fuels my desire to do something in Washington, D.C. as well. Because this country is the greatest country that ever been produced on the planet Earth. And we're going over the damn cliff faster than a locomotive. Now, I don't want to get into issues, but, just to answer your question, that's pretty much, that's pretty much how and why I decided to run for Congress.